good morning, everybody. Welcome, Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Bruce, how are you?
I'm good, Eric. And you this morning?
I am good. The Broncos leave for San Francisco today. I know you love being around this team all the time. You travel with them. Are you kind of glad you're not going on this one?
Yes, I'm fine with it. Absolutely. I can watch from afar, pay attention to it, pull out whatever nuggets that we need to be able to digest and dissect, and then move on. But yeah, I will say this: I am looking forward to the process of 2 of the next 3 days with the shared practice and the exhibition game. That's a good place to go next, because I think we've just about reached the point of saturation with training camp, right?
Yep.
I felt that the line was crossed yesterday, 99 degrees, Veterans Day. There was about 7 veterans that were sitting out. So I felt like it was kind of that point of every camp that we get to, right? Where it's like training camp's great up to a certain point, and then it needs to be over with.
Usually by this time, there's a fight or two.
Yeah.
There really haven't been many, if any, dust-ups at all, have there?
No. And in fact, that's why Kyle Shanahan talked about it earlier this week, that they only do 1 day now of the shared practices, because by the time you get to the second one, it starts to get ragged and guys are on the edge and you inevitably get fights. They don't want to get to that point, obviously. Sean has talked very directly about, we're not about that. It's distracting. It's ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. So let's go be productive. You and I have seen a lot of shared practices, both the 2-day version, the 1-day version. I'm a fan of the 1-day version. I just think they get more done in a 1-day setting where they can set the situations. And I think that that'll be very valuable for both teams.
Well, adding on to what Kyle Shanahan said, he also mentioned that if one team dominates day 1, day 2, the team that got dominated is looking for payback. And that's where the fights really begin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't think that these guys, as very AAA type personalities, don't want to, even in a practice situation, don't want to get the upper hand, because they do. Right. It's part of the whole process of, and let's face it, this is the first time that you get to go into a situation where you'll be judging yourself against another team. You've done 2 weeks of judging yourself against each other. Yeah. But I mean, defense, why do we talk about the defense being ahead so much of the time? Because the defense knows what plays are coming. That's not the only reason, but that's part of the reason. So now you get into some things where the other guy doesn't always necessarily know what's coming, and maybe you get a little better assessment, self-assessment.
Well, but can you also add on to that and say that the defense is more reactive, where the offense has to put together plays, be crisp in their execution, because all you need is one guy to not do his job, whole play blows up.
No, and you're absolutely right. The moving parts for an offense to get to a place where they're functioning at the level they need to be able to function takes a lot longer than it does for a defense, which is, and not to minimize what they're doing, there are subtleties in defensive calls and things like that. But basically, as you said, reactionary. Where's the ball? Stop the run, get to the quarterback. It shouldn't be that difficult.
So the Broncos preseason starts on Saturday, and for this football season, only one place to watch the game, Sportsbook Bar and Grill. You can find them in the DTC and also in Highlands Ranch. On Broncos Sunday, you can win a Broncos jersey during every Broncos regular season game at both locations, DTC and Highlands Ranch. And don't forget, they're coming to Parker this fall, so they're going to be doing the giveaway for the jersey as well. Brunch serves Saturday and Sunday starting at 9 a.m. in the morning. College football Saturday. A lot of bars like to be the home of a certain team, a certain university. Well, pretty good lineup for the Sportsbook Bar and Grill. They have always been an Iowa bar at their DTC location. Watch out, Highlands Ranch. It's Ohio State fans'
Wow.
place. So a great place to watch college football, the NFL, and of course, not only do they have the 4 major sports, they're big on soccer, rugby, UFC, outstanding menu. Go find the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in the DTC, Highlands Ranch, and coming soon to Parker. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
So the Broncos have a walkthrough today before they leave for San Francisco. 1 joint practice tomorrow with the 49ers. As for yesterday, full pads. A lot of veterans get the day off. 5 team periods. Bo Nix, generally sharp. Devon Vele, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, all had plus plays. Dynamic catches, 15 yards or more. So as we near the end of camp, now that the concrete has been poured as we start to go through training camp, how do you think it will set on the wide receiver room?
I think that Cortland Sutton still remains the main target.
Yep.
But I do think that Troy Franklin has shown particularly well in this camp. He's been very good in the last 2 weeks. He was exceptional yesterday, made 2 really good grabs deep in the corners in red zone situations. He has not disappointed this year. And every time I think of Troy Franklin, I think of you and I watching him last year, just being basically just yelled at almost continually.
Yeah.
Now think about that, Eric. You're coming in as a rookie. You're just being lambasted. And Johnny Morton, who now is the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, was the guy that was basically assigned to Troy Franklin. He was the one that was always in the mix getting after him. But think about the fortitude that it takes to be able to kind of weather that storm, get some things figured out. He really strived pretty well down the stretch of this season, of last season, and I think has been one of the most consistent factors in camp this summer. Now, how that equates moving forward, I don't know, but he's another piece. But I think that they've had relatively good performances by guys all across the room. Guys have shown pretty well at various times. Devon Vele has been dealing with some injury situations. He needs to get himself on a little better physical plane, because I think you and I agree on him with his length, his size, his speed, his catch radius. This is a guy that can really be a valuable piece for them. But all in all, I think that the receiving room has taken a nice step forward and bodes well for the year.
The last time I can remember a wide receiver just getting crushed in his rookie season in practices, training camp, OTAs, was Cody Latimer. 2014, boy, that guy was getting an earful every day, and he folded. Now, granted, it was coming from Peyton Manning, mainly, not necessarily the coaches. It looks like Troy Franklin could come out on the other end. So let's break this down. Cortland Sutton is number 1. 2 wide receiver sets. Who's out there with Sutton?
I think that at some point Devon Vele is going to be a factor, but he's got to get healthier. He's just not quite there yet.
Let's say he's healthy. Who's the number 2 wide receiver in a 2 wide receiver set?
I think Troy Franklin's going to be a part of this, and I think that. And I
know,
think
but day one, who's going to be out there with Cortland Sutton?
Mims.
Yes.
Mims.
Yes.
Mims will be the guy. Franklin is right there. Bryant is a part of this mix as well.
So order them for me, or do you want me to go first?
I think I just did. I think I'll go Mims. Well, I mean, depending on where Vele is, okay, because he's the X factor in this thing.
He's number 3.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Then I'll go Franklin. I'll go Franklin, and then I'll go Bryant, because I just don't know about Vele yet.
Well, let's assume all are healthy.
Okay.
For the sake of argument, I think Devon Vele is either the number 1 wide receiver or the number 3. Meaning with Cortland Sutton, he's number 3. Without Cortland Sutton, he's number 1. They do similar things.
Yes.
So you want to have a speed guy in there, right? So that's going to be Mims or Franklin. I'll go with Mims. So to me, it's Sutton. To your point, Mims, Vele, Troy Franklin, Bryant, and then Trent Sherfield.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable to me. It really does. Just really like Devon Vele, but I really want to see Devon Vele. He was good yesterday.
Yeah,
he's been on the field now for a couple of straight days, but and he was doing a lot of work after practice yesterday. I think he's a hardworking guy that senses his opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to be on the field, and he hasn't been on the field enough to really flash much this summer.
Let's follow up on our conversation from yesterday on Peyton's prediction that Bo Nix is going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. But let's look at it differently. Is Nix getting too much praise?
Fair question. And now we've got the YouTube channel, right? We've got.
Oh, yeah. When I saw that.
Yeah, I cringed a little bit. I did. Yes, I cringed.
Did you just go all Russell Wilson on us?
And I tried to be patient about it and not overreact for that very reason. And you're right on target. We've seen this before, and we've seen it fairly recently before. Now, I don't think it took away from Russ being a hard worker and trying to do the things right to be a really good receiver. But remember year 1, he came into camp and he was and Russ was overweight. I thought for Russ, for who he was and the type of player he was, and I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to be a more physical presence in the pocket. It didn't work out. He came into camp much better the second year, but all the stuff that attended it, right? All of the stuff on YouTube with the teammates, which I think excited us to some degree early on, but got tired pretty quickly. So there's a hangover effect that when all of a sudden I see Bo Nix now getting into his YouTube thing and the Bo Leave shirts and things of that nature. I get working on the brand. This is America. I mean, we all understand the need or the desire or whatever to market oneself. I get it. Maybe it's just a little too soon on the back end of Russell Wilson. The question becomes, I think, to your original question, though, Eric, is Bo Nix the type of player that can handle the sunshine being blown up being blown at him? There's an awful lot of sunshine right now, right?
This is a podcast, Bruce. It's a podcast. You can say ass, you can say shit, you can say whatever you want.
I don't say those things generally, though. I leave that to you. You're a
There's
salty
a compliment.
Guy. You're a salty guy. It's all good. I mean, the Seth Withersham article on all of the metrics now that Sean Payton had when making the pick, which, by the way, he's kind of talked to us about in bits and pieces over the last year and change. I think those are all things that we understood. He was looking for a processor. He was looking for a guy that could do a lot of things at once, a guy that could make quick decisions. He found him in Bo Nix. But he has gotten a lot of attention from that. And will he? I don't think that he's weak at all. I think that Bo Nix has no weakness in that regard at all. I don't think he'll be swayed by the attention. I think he understands the work that needs to be done, the constant attention that needs to be put into getting better. I think that he has stated it emphatically that he wants to be better. And you and I watch him virtually every day. All the guy does is everything that you need to do to be a good teammate, a good leader, and to be a guy that can figure out ways to win games. I think it's what drives him. So I'm going to trust in that at this point. but I do think that that's something to pay attention to as the praise continues to be heaped on Bo Nix.
I am, listen, you might disagree with me and other people might disagree. I don't look at myself as a self-promoter, or in some cases, people I know, shameless self-promoters. When I look at the YouTube channel for Bo Nix, I think of Jerry Jeudy constantly on social media. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Shedeur Sanders, look at me, look at me, look at me. Same thing with Russell Wilson. Look at me, look at me. How have they done? Now, Shedeur Sanders is still yet to be determined.
Right.
But he's a 5th-round pick, man. Stop the legendary crap.
Yeah, I'm with
Stop
you.
it. And
Yeah.
he didn't learn a damn thing. It's still legendary. And it's great that he's getting out in the community. Good for him. Smart PR. And I'm not saying he's not doing it genuinely. I'm just saying it's smart. So for Bo Nix, when I see that YouTube channel, I'm like, first of all, I'm guessing here. I think here's the difference. Bo Nix probably had to be convinced to do it. Russell Wilson wanted it. Shedeur wants it.
Right.
Jerry Jeudy wants it.
Yeah.
It was probably their idea. Do I think that Bo Nix can handle criticism? Yes. After, what Sean Payton said about him and, the expectations in theory, at least externally, are higher. My concern is this, and this is what I stated yesterday, but I'll try and be more succinct. Let's say Bo Nix is having a good season this year, goes to Kansas City, and the Chiefs work him over. You are going to have, 70,000 fans singing in a chorus of overrated. It's going to be like going to a Duke basketball game. It's going to come pouring out of the stands. How does he handle it? I'm sure he'll be fine. Played in the SEC. He's familiar with hostile crowds. And by the way, you know what? I'll just segue this way. What crowds do you think are more hostile? College crowds or NFL crowds?
Oh, I think college crowds are brutal.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think, that's almost an art. The fans dissing others. But I mean, look, it can be cruel anywhere. I'm with you. It doesn't feel like a Bo Nix led enterprise. I mean, I think he has his people, and you know what most quarterbacks have their people now, right? I mean, a quarterback is a
team. He's got a team.
Yeah, they've got a team, and so they do their things. Some of them do it in a more of an attention-seeking mode than others. I think that Bo Nix will probably be on the small end of that. I don't think he'll be out there leading, looking for hits and trying to be that guy. I think that he will probably be a part of it strategically. Great, no problem. I mean, like I said, that's part of what the business is all about. Just want to see him continue to be the quarterback of the Denver Broncos and continue to move his ability to win football games forward, because anything that he wants in terms of attention, and I don't know how much attention he wants, all of those things come with winning football games.
Right.
Winning football games. He has an idea of how to do that already. Hopefully now he's in a better position to know what it takes to win games by getting 10 of them unexpectedly in his rookie season. So I will trust in the process, because that's what this is. It's still a process. And I will trust in the dynamic between coach and quarterback, because I think you and I have been around Sean enough now over the last 3 years to know that the silliness that we saw with Russ will not be tolerated in any shape or form with anyone else. Right? With anyone else. So we've been down that road before. Can't imagine that road is available to anyone else, even Bo Nix.
We have covered every day of training camp. We've addressed a lot of different topics. Obviously, Bo Nix is going to be the majority of it. Always talk about the quarterback, especially when you have a young quarterback who looks to potentially be taking another step. And then, of course, you had what Sean Payton said. So he basically filled up the whole show yesterday.
Right.
Sean Payton talks about Bo Nix. Oh, my God, we have a 40-minute show. With that, with all the days we've been covering training camp, I want you to give me, after the break, one guy on each side of the ball we are not talking about enough. That's next. Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a new Sea-Doo, four-wheeler, or the cash award from the Big Wheel Spin, plus $7,500 in cash. The grand prize drawing is the weekend of August 16th, and get finalist entries every 45 minutes from 10 a.m. to midnight during their daily cash drawing, with a locked-up jackpot of $100 or more. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos. Loose slots, great promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
And welcome back. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. I want to tell you about Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. I've used this phrase many times, and it bothers me when this happens in business, big time. When somebody tries to sell you something that you don't need. It's a selfish way to do business. To me, it's one of those karma things that's going to bite you in the ass one day. You know, when somebody says, a heating or cooling company says, you need a new furnace, and you really don't, because they want to make money off of it, because, you know, they're not going to make a lot of money fixing it. First time I met with Cody, the owner of Ferguson's Heating and Cooling, he said to me, I know that we're losing money when we fix things. He goes, but I'll do that all day if I have to. He goes, it's about making sure that the customer gets what they need, not what I need in my bank account. And those are the type of companies that you want to work with. And if you look at their, Google reviews, 5-star, pretty much across the board. It's the type of company that you want to work with. Cody, he grew up in Littleton. He's part of the community. He's a football coach at Heritage. Oh, by the way, his son's a pretty good football player.
Think?
Yeah, a little bit. Eventually, he will be the starting tight end for the Rams.
Right.
So, a great story about a great family that has an amazing business. Go to FergusonHeatingandCooling.com. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. Your family should trust the Ferguson family for all your heating and cooling needs, and you'll see why they have over 165 5-star Google reviews. Make an appointment today at Ferguson'sHeatingandCooling.com.
So we've covered every day of training camp so far, 10 days. We've talked about the obvious cast of characters, Bo Nix, Pat Surtain, Cortland Sutton, yada, yada, yada. On both sides of the ball, let's start with the offense first. Which guy, or is there a guy who has impressed that we have barely even talked about?
Well, no, there really isn't a guy that we've barely talked about.
Yeah, there is.
Troy Franklin would have been my pick up until this morning when I crowed about Troy Franklin. Pat Bryant is not far behind in that regard. Pat Bryant is going to be in the rotation. You can tell just with the reps that he's getting in practice. The rookie from Illinois is going to be in the mix. What kind of mix remains to be seen? That's up to Sean Payton's creativity, but I like what I see there. Other than that, I mean, if you get to Evan Ingram,
we've talked about him a ton.
We've talked about him. I think we've talked about him a ton, and
let me throw one your way.
Let me throw
one your way.
Go ahead.
Trent Sherfield. We haven't talked about it all. Guy catches everything.
He's a special teams guy, though.
He's going to make the team.
That's what he's going to do.
He catches
because of special teams.
But he catches everything. He has had plenty of reps with Bo Nix. It's not like he's buried, playing with Sam Ehlinger. He catches everything. I'll put it to you this way. If for some reason there are injuries to wide receivers, I'd have no problems with him being on the field. Now, would I want him to be one of my main guys, one of my top three guys? No, I wouldn't. But the guy's dependable. He's playing with – he has taken more than a few snaps with the first team. The guy can catch the ball.
Yep, he has.
And that's all I'm saying. A guy we haven't talked about enough. Not that we need to spend that much more time on him.
No, I don't. In terms of guys that can make a difference, I think most of the differences that he will make, and they will be large, will be on special teams. Who are you going with defensively?
Riley Dixon. We barely brought him up, and it feels like every day, every other day, the guy is making plays. His speed for a white guy isn't so bad because it looks like he's keeping up with Mims and he's keeping up with Franklin. Yes, in a straight line race, Riley Dixon has no chance against Marvin Mims. But on the football field, staying pretty tight in coverage for the most part, with Troy Franklin doing the same thing, breaking up passes. We spend all this time, and rightfully so, talking about Pat Surtain and Jahdae Barron. To me, the key to this whole thing in the secondary, and I said this last year, and I'll say it again this year, is Riley Dixon. Because he's going to be targeted a lot. And this guy might have as much dog in him as any player in that secondary outside of Hufanga.
You know how much I love Riley Dixon. I do. I do think that we've Riley Moss, excuse me.
Riley Moss. I keep thinking of the punter. Jeez.
Right, yeah. Riley Moss. I think that we have given him his due. I'm going to come totally out of center field. And I mean,
by the way, can I cut you off real quick? You know why we haven't been talking about Riley Dixon?
Because he's no longer on the team.
Right.
But here's my guy. and it may be a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go with Brandon Jones because he's not chatted about very much. He's next to Hufanga, who's getting a lot of run, and understandably so. When you watch Talanoa Hufanga, you watch a force of nature, right? He and Dre Greenlaw are two very similar players in that regard. They are forces of nature. But Brandon Jones was a guy that I think surprised a lot of people last year with his versatility and his consistency. He still is a player that they move around a great deal. He's really good at the line of scrimmage, and he has been just a very consistent performer day in and day out. He's been available. He hasn't missed any time. He's just been a really consistent presence back there and it's it's a compliment to him that we don't talk with him very much, because I think that we just understand that he's going to be a damn good football player. So, I mean, I might be stretching the exercise a little bit, but I'll go with that. But Eric, I'll up the ante a little bit. I think above all of the players that we've talked about, Jeremy Crawshaw is going to be a guy we've talked about him in fits and starts, but I think that as the season goes on, people are going to recognize this guy for what he is. Now, he's a little inconsistent right now, but he is a thunderous leg that can change field position one kick. And he's got to be more consistent about it. God, I was watching him yesterday. There was a lot of live kicking yesterday. And the amount of times that he put the ball inside the 15-yard line without it going into the end zone,
right?
His ability to kill the ball in those situations is so valuable, especially with the defense that you have, right? If you're pinning opposing teams deep by being able to flip the field, and now it's a rookie out of Florida, and we'll see how the Aussie does in the NFL starting, the next few days. But I think that he can be a huge, and let me underscore that word, difference maker for this football team.
When the Broncos did the draft, you and I immediately said who will be the top 3 guys who will have the most impact as a rookie. Barron, Harvey, Crawshaw.
Right.
We said that immediately.
Yeah.
Then we watched him in practice, and it was even a more solid Crawshaw is going to make a difference. Now, granted, he's the only guy at that position.
Right.
There's really no competition for him. When I look at this guy, there's a part of me when I look at a punter, and you said he's inconsistent.
A little bit inconsistent. I mean, he's going to have these booming 60-yard punts with 5.5 seconds of hang time, but he's going to kick one off the side every now and then, until he builds some consistency. But anyway, I'll take the learning curve.
Okay, now I will start us off just to get us out of the gate. Let's talk about something that we haven't talked about much, meaning I'll ask you the same question. Give me a concept, something that we have not spent a lot of time talking about, which I don't know has been really talked about that much on sports talk radio, in the newspapers, so on and so forth. One thing that we've spent very little time talking about is the Broncos changing their offensive game plan to outside zone. That's a big deal. It's not like, I mean, Sean Payton ran far more outside zone his first year than he did last year.
Right.
Now, granted, you can make the case they didn't have the personnel for it. They didn't have speed on the outside. Javonte Williams, no. Audric Estime, no. They had Jaleel McLaughlin, and that's it. Now they have 3 outside zone guys who can plant a foot, cut back. And what's that going to lead to? Bigger chunk plays.
Yeah, which is key. And I'm glad you brought it up. I think Jaleel McLaughlin was the leading yards per carry back with, I think, 4.5, maybe 4.6, something like that. A credible number, but not a dynamic number.
Right.
J.K. Dobbins, I think, averaged 5.2 yards a carry a year ago. Don't quote me on that, but I'm close enough for horseshoes on that. Yes, we have seen it. I think that the thing with the running game is you can want to be a good running team, but do you have the patience to commit to being a good running team? And that's where Sean Payton, to me, has been a little slow. But I think it's to your point, because he just hasn't had the personnel to do it with. He hasn't had a guy that is quick enough to make an outside zone blocking scheme work. Now, all of a sudden, with Dobbins and Harvey and McLaughlin, you've got 3 guys that can do good things with quickness and cutbacks.
Right.
So, and Eric, if this team can run the ball, and I mean really be an effective running team, then the ceiling is huge for what this offense can become. Because I think Bo Nix has proven the type of thrower that he can be. I think that they're going to be better in the middle of the field. I think that they will be better down the field. I just think that they have more weapons. So if all of a sudden you can be a consistent running team with the threat of blowing a big run out at any time for an opposing defense, wow.
Okay. I don't know. When you look at the running back room, has there been much of any separation between Dobbins and Harvey from what you've seen?
I don't see it. I mean,
neither do I.
We're going. It's all going to me. It's going to boil down to pass pro.
Exactly. So I think that's one reason why the one practice tomorrow, I don't want to call it significant, but we're going to see what Harvey can do. And then I'll be very curious to see him in pass protection in the preseason. Meaning the preseason games. I'm wondering if Peyton calls plays specifically. I'm not saying he's going to call a play to fail at all, but I'm wondering if he will call a play or two just to get Harvey into pass protection, if that makes any sense. Just to test him out.
Sure. I think it makes sense. If you got to have. You want
to script plays to gain yards. That is the goal. But also the goal of the preseason games, the goal of training camp is to put guys in positions, whether it makes sense or not, in terms of when you're calling that play. Or am I being overly simplistic, or that makes no sense at all?
No, I think it makes good sense. And I think it's the one thing that Sean Payton has got to know. It's all about trust, right? We know that. It's all about trust, who you trust. And that trust goes a long way. Running the ball, getting the hole, hitting the hole, getting to where you need to be, catching the football out of the backfield, and protecting your quarterback. You've got to be able to do those things to be a 3-down back in Sean Payton's offense. J.K. Dobbins can do those things. He is a proven entity in that regard. But I think that R.J. Harvey is a very willing, physical football player. So what I'm saying is he's willing to put it in, and he's got a low center of gravity with a wide base. And I mean, and he's strong. I think that he can be good in pass protection. I really do. And I think he's willing, but can he do it? I mean, He'll take
Well-
the first hit, but he's got to be able to sustain it in pass protection.
If he's not good at pass protection, this offense becomes incredibly predictable. Because when he's out there, you know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, yes, he might. The one thing that could put the defense on its heels a little bit, even if he's not good in pass pro, is, he'll take a swing pass, right?
Yeah.
That's one way to combat a pass rush. That is one way to combat a situation where, I don't know, if you see him in the game, you're thinking, well, they're going to run the ball because he's not good in pass protection, but because he can catch the ball out of the backfield, they're not going to be so reliant on his pass blocking.
Yeah, that's fair. The one change that we've already talked about, the outside zone and stretching it to the outside zone in the running game. This offense, I think Sean wants to be more versatile, and he's brought in players to do that. But I think he also wants to continue to be able to stretch the field a little bit more.
Yeah.
The offense, by just what it had to be a year ago, was quick, short strikes, get the ball out in the flat. You're going to have plenty of that again this year, but I do think that they want to create more space down the field, create more space in the middle of the field, and they want to utilize those backs in more of a dynamic fashion than just a little safety valve where you're picking up 3, 4, 5 yards a catch,
but
right?
you got to remember you're playing with a rookie quarterback last year who's trying to digest a playbook, and the game's probably really fast for him. So there are going to be a lot of quick passes. Now that the game is slowing down, you will feel more confident for that play to develop.
Right.
And that will be more strikes downfield as well.
Right. Combine that with players to do it with, and you've
Yes.
got yourself a very intriguing situation with the offense.
That is going to do it for us. Hot Takes with Goodman and Haertl. Make it the best possible day you can.